Good day to all friends. I am Tony from Italy here. For this assignment I have chosen to walk around the automation options in the DAW I use, the latest version of Logic Pro. So, I'll attempt to explain how the automation functions in Logic. I picked this assignment because I think that most of the automation options are very useful for our production in the music creation. So, automation is kind of a moving mix, and you can automate almost anything in DAW. Tempo, panning, not just only the volume. So I thought attempting to explain them, and it would be a good way for me to remember. I will discuss this under the following headings regarding the automation types: latch, touch, read, and write. Let's do these things. In Logic Pro, when this button is in off mode, the current track automation data are disabled. No automation data is written, read, or played back. The first thing to do is enable the automation just hitting this button. Then it needs to choose one parameter you want to automate. Choose the latch option to write the automation. Hit play and the automation data will be recorded. Latch mode basically works like touch mode, but the current value replaces any existing automation data after releasing the fader or knob when Logic Pro is in playback or record mode. This type of automation works by latching to wherever you drag the fader. As a piece of music is playing, you grab the fader and drag according to how you want the track to sound. It will remain where you leave it and continue to record the automation. Touch mode plays back automation data in the same fashion as read mode. If a channel strip or an external, touch-sensitive, automation controller is touched, the existing track automation data of the active parameter is replaced by any controller movements for as long as the fader or knob is touched. As you can see, it temporarily bypasses the original version, but when we let it go, immediately ramps back. The time required by a parameter to return to its previously recorded setting is set by Logic Pro, Preferences, Automation, Ramp Time. Touch is the most useful mode for creating a mix, and is directly comparable to writing the faders on a hardware mixing console. It allows you to correct and improve the mix at any time when automation is active. Touch automation is useful when you want to highlight a specific section of a track but then have it return to previous levels. It works in a similar way to latch, but when you let go of the fader, the automation snaps back to the value you had previous to touching the fader. Okay, we have just recorded the automation. And now I will show you how to edit and manipulate the automation data you have recorded manually with the read option. There are basically two ways to do so in the read option. First way is by dragging the individual dots where you prefer. This method is very useful for a precise edit of the automation. And the second way is by selecting the pencil tool and draw the automation by hand. Either way is fine depending on what you want to achieve. I'm not sure if this is the actual name for this method of automation editing, but as you use a pencil to draw out automation curves, I thought it was apt. This is my favorite method of editing automation. It offers the greatest versatility when picking how you want a piece to sound. You can draw any shape you like and tweak as you like to get the desired sound. Write is the last option. In write mode, existing track automation data is erased as the playhead passes it. If you move any of the mixers or an external unit's controls, this movement is recorded. If you don't, existing data is simply deleted as the playhead passes it. I find write to be a useful function when you want to level out a track and erase all other automation values. If you select write in Logic, you must set the volume to the level you want the track and then press play. You will see that all other automation information is replaced with the one value you set before pressing play. In this section, I wasn't happy with how the rhythm bass sounded, so I evened out the automation.